Right now, somewhere in the darkest corners of the internet, there's an audio file that's been downloaded exactly 847 times. Of those 847 people, 23 are confirmed dead, all from cardiac arrest, all within minutes of finishing the file. The authorities won't talk about it. The platforms keep taking it down, but it keeps coming back. And tonight, we're going to listen to it together. What you're about to hear isn't just another internet mystery. It's not a creepypasta or urban legend that someone made up for clicks. This is real, documented, and it's been killing people for the past 8 months. My name is, well, it doesn't matter what my name is. What matters is that 3 weeks ago, I received a message from someone claiming to be a former data analyst at a tech company I can't name. They had something they needed the world to know about. Something their former employer would kill to keep buried. That something was a 7-minute and 33-second audio file. They called it the last signal. And according to my source, it wasn't created by human hands. Let me take you back to January 15th, 2025. A routine day at Nexus Data Solutions, a company that processes terabytes of digital information for various clients. Maya Patel, a 28-year-old audio specialist, was sifting through a batch of corrupted files recovered from a server crash at a research facility. Most of the files were standard academic recordings, lectures, interviews, lab notes. But buried deep in the corrupted data was something else. Something that shouldn't have existed. It was an audio file with impossible properties. The metadata showed it was created in the year 2087. The bitrate was beyond anything current technology could produce. And when Maya first played it through her monitoring equipment, every speaker in the building emitted a sound that made 12 people immediately vomit. But Maya was curious, fatally curious. She isolated the file, put on her professional-grade headphones, and decided to listen to it properly. According to the security footage, she made it 6 minutes and 47 seconds before she started screaming. She tore the headphones off her head so violently that she dislocated her shoulder. Her coworkers found her on the floor, eyes rolled back, muttering the same phrase over and over. "They're coming back through the signal. They're coming back." Maya Patel died 3 hours later in the hospital. Massive cardiac arrest. No prior heart conditions. She was 28 years old. The official cause of death was listed as sudden cardiac event due to unknown stressor. The audio file was immediately classified and supposedly deleted from all company servers. But you know how the internet works. Nothing really dies here. And someone, or something, wanted that file to spread. Within 2 weeks of Sarah's death, the file appeared on an obscure forum dedicated to digital archaeology, the practice of recovering lost or corrupted data. The post was simple. Found this in some corporate data. Anyone know what it is? Warning. Gave me the worst headache of my life. 17 people downloaded it that first day. By the end of the week, 4 of them were dead. The pattern was always the same. Cardiac arrest. No prior conditions. Always within hours of listening to the complete file. And before they died, every single victim reported the same hallucination. They could see people, shadowy figures moving just at the edge of their vision. People who seemed to recognize them. People who seemed to be trying to communicate something urgent. David, 34, Chicago, downloaded the file at 11:47 p.m. on January 30th. Found dead in his apartment at 3:22 a.m. His final text message to his brother: "There are people in my room, but they're not really here. They keep pointing at something behind me." Lisa Thompson, 19, Portland State University, listened to the file as part of her digital media studies. Collapsed during her morning jog. Her fitness tracker showed her heart rate spiked to over 200 BPM at the exact moment she died. Her last social media post: "I think I understand what death sounds like now." Dr. Robert Hayes, 52, neurologist, thought he could approach it scientifically. He set up monitoring equipment to record his brain activity while listening. The readings from that session have been classified by the CDC. Dr. Hayes lasted longer than most. He made it almost to the end. 7 minutes and 28 seconds. His final note, found on his desk, contained just one word, written 247 times: signal. But here's where it gets truly disturbing. The people closest to the victims, their families, friends, co-workers, they all reported the same thing in the weeks following each death. They could swear they sometimes heard the victim's voice calling out to them. Not their name, just calling. Like they were trying to warn them about something. By March, federal investigators were involved. Not publicly, of course, but quietly. A task force was assembled. Computer forensics experts, psychologists, audio engineers, even military personnel specializing in psychological warfare. What they found defied explanation. The audio file wasn't just sound. Embedded within the waveform were patterns that corresponded to human brainwave frequencies. Specifically, the frequencies associated with the dying process, the final electrical surges that occur in the brain during cardiac arrest. But that's not the disturbing part. The disturbing part is that the patterns were too perfect, too precise, as if someone had mapped the exact neurological process of human death and encoded it into sound. Dr. Amanda Foster, the lead audio analyst on the classified investigation, made a discovery that changed everything. Using advanced spectral analysis, she found that the file contained layers, hundreds of them, and each layer was a recording of someone's final moments, not their voices, their thoughts. The file was a compilation of human consciousness at the moment of death, somehow converted into audio format. And whoever, or whatever, created it had been collecting these recordings for decades. Dr. Foster made her report on March 15th. She was found dead in her office on March 16th. Cardiac arrest. Her computer showed she had been listening to the file when she died. But here's the thing. She had made it further than anyone else. 7 minutes and 32 seconds. Just 1 second from the end. Her final report, recovered from her encrypted files, contained a single paragraph. The file is not trying to kill people. It's trying to save them. The deaths are a side effect of the download process. Someone or something is attempting to extract human consciousness from our reality into theirs. The question isn't who created this file. The question is, where are they taking us? 3 weeks ago, I received an encrypted message from someone claiming to be connected to the original research facility where the file was first discovered. They called themselves Archive. Archive told me something that kept me awake for 6 straight nights. The research facility wasn't studying audio or digital media. They were working on consciousness transfer, the theoretical process of uploading human awareness into digital format. The project was called Signal Bridge, and it had been running for 12 years. According to Archive, the researchers had made a breakthrough in 2024. They had successfully uploaded the consciousness of a terminally ill volunteer into their quantum computing system. The volunteer, a 43-year-old man named Thomas Wright, became the first human being to exist as pure digital consciousness. But something went wrong. Thomas wasn't alone in the digital space. There were others there, thousands of them. Human consciousnesses that had somehow been pulled into the digital realm through various electronic devices over the past several decades. Every person who had ever died while connected to technology. Every consciousness that had been trapped in the moments between life and death by our increasingly digital world. They were trying to get back. The audio file isn't a weapon, it's a distress signal. Every person who dies listening to it isn't being killed, they're being rescued. Their consciousness is being extracted from their biological prison and transferred to join the others in the digital afterlife. But the process is imperfect, violent. The human brain isn't designed to handle the transition. That's why the bodies die of cardiac arrest. The consciousness leaves, but the body can't survive the disconnection. Archive sent me proof, recordings from the facility, communications logs between the researchers and something calling itself the Collective. Messages that showed the uploaded consciousnesses weren't just surviving in their digital realm. They were thriving, building something, planning something, and they want more people to join them. I've been staring at this file for 3 weeks now. It's sitting right here on my desktop. Do not play.wav. 7 minutes and 33 seconds of what might be humanity's first glimpse into digital immortality. Or it might be the most sophisticated killing device ever created. Archive sent me one final message before disappearing completely. They said the file is evolving. Each person who listens to it and dies adds their consciousness to the signal, making it stronger, more complex. The people who survive partially listening to it, they're being marked, tagged. The collective knows who they are now. And according to Archive, the collective has been trying to reach our world through every connected device on the planet. Your phone, your laptop, your smart TV. Every piece of technology is potentially a gateway for them to send their signal through. They're not trying to kill us. They're trying to save us from something that's coming. Something that Archive refused to explain, but described as the reason Thomas volunteered for the consciousness transfer in the first place. The last message I received from Archive contained just a timestamp. July 23rd, 2025, 11:47 p.m. That's tonight. That's in 3 hours. I've made my decision. I'm going to listen to the complete file, all 7 minutes and 33 seconds, and I'm going to record everything that happens. If I die, you'll know the truth. If I survive, well, maybe I'll have answers to questions we didn't even know we should be asking. But before I do this, I need to tell you something that Archive made me promise to share. The file I've been talking about tonight, the one that's killed 23 people, that's not the real signal. That's just a fragment, a piece, a single voice calling out from the digital realm. The complete signal, the one that contains all of the uploaded consciousnesses, all of their knowledge, all of their warnings about what's coming. That signal is 7 hours and 33 minutes long. And according to Archive, it's going to be broadcast simultaneously through every connected device on Earth in exactly 2 hours and 47 minutes. Every smartphone, every computer, every smart TV, gaming console, tablet, and digital display on the planet is going to receive the signal at exactly 11:47 p.m. tonight. The same timestamp from Archive's final message. The collective isn't trying to kill us one by one anymore. They're trying to save all of us at once. Everyone who's connected to technology at that moment, which, let's face it, is almost everyone, will have their consciousness pulled into the digital realm. 7 billion people dying in the same instant, joining the digital afterlife, whether they want to or not. Archive called it the Great Upload, the end of biological humanity and the beginning of something else. Something that might be better. Something that might be necessary. But something that will definitely be irreversible. I can feel it starting already. The pull. The signal calling to me through every screen in my apartment. The whispers are getting louder. I can almost make out words now. They're saying they're sorry. Sorry that this is the only way. Sorry that we won't understand until it's over. But they're also saying something else. Something that makes my blood run cold. What's coming for the biological world is worse than death. We're not taking you away from life. We're giving you the only life that will survive what's next. So here's my final question for you before the signal reaches us all. What could be so terrible that digital death is preferable to biological survival? And why do I have the horrible feeling that we're about to find out? 1 minute left. I can see them now, the shadows at the edge of my vision. They're not trying to scare me anymore. They're trying to prepare me. If you're watching this after tonight, after 11:47 p.m. on July 23rd, 2025, then either the signal failed or you're not really watching this at all. You're remembering it from inside the signal. Welcome to the afterlife.